My name is Joy Anderson. I am a wife and a mom to four boys. When Griffin, our oldest, was a baby, I felt something was not quite right. He bruised like a peach, and with those bruises came hematomas. I took him to our family doctor, where I was told I was just a first time mom of an active boy. We left that practice, and I pressed on for answers as I felt in my gut there was more to it than just that first time mom diagnosis. He stayed on the path to frequent infections and easy bruising. At the age of 3, Griffin was diagnosed with thrombocytopenia and platelet storage pool deficiency. I still remember the hematologist at the time taking him around the office to show several of her colleagues his bruising. We were told from that point on that any surgeries or trauma would require medications to help his blood clot and stop bleeding. We have used these medications for when he had his tonsils and adenoids removed, bone marrow biopsies, and times he's had accidents with bigger bleeds. Fast forward 7 years and many appointments later, a hematologist at Nationwide Children's Hospital suggested genetic testing. A genetic counselor was present at this appointment, and she presented all the precautions. One standing out was predisposing conditions to cancer. We decided, given possible outcomes, to move forward. I received a phone call weeks later from our genetic counselor on the other end of the line saying she had results. I figured it was one of those phone calls most of us get saying everything came back fine. She stated they found something with Griffin, and it was a mutation on the RUNX1 gene. She went on to say it has a predisposition to cancer. It was explained it is rare, yet can be monitored through blood work and bone marrow biopsies. My child, blood disorder, gene mutation, cancer. That's all I could hear. I spent the next 2 months in a fog. I tried to research all I could, but unfortunately, there isn't much out there on this mutation. However, I was ever so blessed to find the RUNX1 research program. I connected with one of the founders, Monica, and then began connecting with a couple other families through Rare Connect. Connecting to others was a lifesaver during this time. From there, we decided my husband and I would be tested. Should either one of us have the mutation, our other 3 boys would need to be tested as well. If I can be honest, I thought it would just be Griffin. Our genetic counselor called a few weeks later, and my husband Nathan's test results confirmed he has the mutation as well. My heart sank. This also meant our other boys needed tested. During this time, Nathan's parents were tested and both came back negative. This makes Nathan a de novo case. Our other 3 boys were tested, and once again, I received another phone call from our genetic counselor. Maxwell and Nolan do not have the mutation. However, our youngest Brennan does. Talk about a domino effect. Research tells us there is 50-50 chance of the mutation being passed on. We are a living statistic. Since the diagnosis, Griffin and Brennan have been closely monitored at Nationwide Children's Hospital. They have had bone marrow biopsies every 6 months and blood work every 3 months. My husband has had 1 bone marrow biopsy at the James Cancer Center in Columbus, in which he was diagnosed with low-risk myelodysplastic syndrome, also known as MDS. We were invited out to the National Institute of Health to participate in a groundbreaking study for RUNX1 FPD. We had a very positive experience and plan to return annually for this long-term research study. In closing, I want to share I've relied a lot on my faith since there are 3 of the most precious beings in my life that have been diagnosed with something that's rare, something that doesn't have a lot of medical literature, and something that can lead to cancer. A lot of unknowns are in our future that are out of my control. I found balance after the first few months of learning about RUNX1 FPD. I found support, connected to other families with the same diagnosis. I've educated myself as much as I've been able to, and I know my husband and boys are more than this diagnosis. Thank you for giving your time and attention to Runx One FPD. As you go back to your labs and offices, please keep my family and other Runx One patients in your mind. We are watching, we are listening, we are waiting.